Welcome, I'm Cassandra, and this is your general and love forecast for me. This is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, to start with, we have our first card. This card is Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, and Capricorn Rising. So we have the Devil card. This card is ruled by Capricorn. I really hate that this card is associated with Capricorn, but it is what it is. Okay, so automatically, this makes me think, what are you guys obsessing about? What are you guys fearing? What are you addicted to? Probably work. But maybe some of you might be focused on a toxic karmic relationship, whether romantic or platonic. So there are definitely themes of the things I just said. The devil seems to be a very sexualized type of card, which is why so often we get this card for sexual addictions. So, but this card rules all addictions. But most importantly, it rules the fears and our obsessions. And, well, fear is something that can creep into all of us. So, regardless of sign, we all deal with fear from time to time. We just don't want to obsess about it. But for some of you, you could be obsessing about a certain situation that's going on right now. Perhaps fear is at work behind this obsession. That's my general overall feeling. Okay, so it is clarified by the priestess. So the priestess is all about listening to our intuition. It's that intuitive knowing. This is that card where no matter how much you might be obsessing, stressing, fearful of a certain situation or a person, you already know all of the answers to the questions that you have. You already have those answers. And the priestess pops up here to say, you already know what to do. You already know how to handle this. So the priestess is our intuition. And thankfully, she's in the upright position. So our intuition is flowing. And that is good. And that also indicates that we are listening. So that's even better. The priestess is always about us figuring things out, kind of a bit of a mystery. This is where we're trying to figure certain things out about people or situations. But ultimately, you need to know that you already have the answers. What was that gut feeling? What is your gut feeling? You already know the answers. Intuition is on your side. You just have to be open to listening and paying attention. So this would be your circumstances. So we have the Eight of Wands in the reverse position. So this is about going after a goal or perhaps even a dream. Sometimes this can indicate a love interest that we could have. Now in the reverse position, we are experiencing delays that are very frustrating. Sometimes we can just feel completely blocked, like no matter what we do, we're literally having brick walls put in front of us. It's like it can really make you angry at every single delay that pops in. It can keep building and building and building, and it can make you really angry. Now, I always like to say this is where we need to take a step back so that we can look at things objectively. Perhaps maybe we need to look at our plan in an objective way so that we can figure out, okay, this is what I'm doing wrong. I need to remove this or I need to change that. And then perhaps we can have this Eight of Wands in the upright position. But we really need to try to fight when you feel that anger coming, you need to pull yourself back and look at it objectively, which you guys can do. We just got to kind of detach from our emotions momentarily to do it. And you guys You got this. You can do it. Now, I mean, so it doesn't mean that it's doomed. So just know that. It's just sometimes we need to change our, plan. Okay, so we clarify we have lovers in the reverse position. So for some of you, this is definitely about a relationship. And this relationship is probably one that has been karmic. And it might even feel a bit toxic now. When we see the Lovers card in the reverse position, this can also indicate that perhaps maybe we're making decisions when we are emotionally out of balance. So perhaps our emotions, our heart could be making the decisions rather than our intellect. Now, another aspect to this card is with the Lovers card in reverse, it's not complete doom and gloom. It's just typically this is a relationship. And again, this could be romantic or platonic. It does not have to be one that is absolutely romantic. I know there's lovers, they're like canoodling. But this can be romantic or platonic. So there is a certain relationship in your life that has lost its balance. This could have been a relationship that was very passionate, but when we see the Lovers card in the reverse position, we know that things are out of balance between the two people. And a lot of times one of the people in the situation, they are doing all the work while the other person is just standing by. So whether they're doing all the emotional work, the financial work, whatever it may be, sometimes you could be doing all of it while the other person just sits there and takes. A lot of times this card comes up where you're at a crossroads because you're really beginning to wonder, should I even continue with this particular relationship? But that is for you guys to decide. Every Capricorn sun, moon, and rising is different. We all want different things, and that's okay. So, again, this could be a romantic relationship. It could be a platonic relationship. This could even be a relationship with a family member. Perhaps some of you might have been working towards achieving a goal or perhaps a lifelong dream of yours with your significant other or with someone that you were friends with or maybe a family member with or maybe even a business partner. But whoever this person would be and whoever this card represents for you would be someone that you care about. Someone that you've known, you feel like you have a special connection to them, even though right now things are not good. There is still that element of there's been a special connection with the particular person. Okay, so this would be our focus position. So we have the Five of Wands in reverse. So this is good in reverse. So this card, when it's in the upright position, this is a card of conflict and struggles and confusion. So when it's not in the upright position, we are no longer confused. We can now see clearly. The conflicts are coming to an end, or they have come to an end. A lot of times when we have the Five of Wands pop up, this is where we're solving a conflict. Perhaps we have been having a conflict with someone, and a lot of times when this is representing conflict, this is a type of conflict that it's like there's like one argument after another, after another, after another, and then you're kind of like, wow, why did this even start? Because this is like morphed into something completely different. I mean, it's like very, very, very conflictive. But the upside here is when we have the Five of Wands reversed, we are able to sit down and work things out in a constructive, mature way with wisdom. And sometimes an opportunity can actually arise from this. Sometimes this is a card of being a mediator or needing a mediator. So, for some of you, you could be mediating a situation for someone, or someone could be mediating a situation for you. Or maybe you just might be channeling this overall energy with the issues you're going through. Okay, so we clarify we have the Four of Cups in reverse. So this is good. This is definitely indicating that you have a renewed hope, you have renewed confidence. You're like ready to get back out in the world. You're ready to have friends. You're ready to, perhaps go experience some new or some different things. But this is also a card of passion and love and adventure. And this is a card that definitely indicates that we could potentially make new friends. Sometimes old acquaintances can drop back into our lives out of the blue. But whatever it is, it's good, it's positive. And also with the Four of Cups in reverse, a good opportunity could arise. You just need to get out there, socialize, make some new friends. But an opportunity can always arise from this card, and this can indicate for some of you that a new love interest could arrive soon or already has. Okay. So this would represent your recent past in general. So we have the Ten of Swords. Not the best card, so I'm glad it's in the past position. But I mean, take a look here. I mean, this man's got swords in his back. We can even see the blood. So this is a card of definitely feeling like you're stabbed in the back. This is a very karmic card. This is a card of karmic endings. Karmic endings. The ending can be very painful. Despair can come with this card. Sometimes we go through a divorce. Sometimes we go through a loss of job, finances. We might lose friends. This can cover so many things, but ultimately what you need to realize is whatever ended in the past here, while you may not feel like it, it was really ultimately for the best. It wasn't serving you for your future and your personal growth and development in the future. So ultimately, it was kind of like a blockage. And it was also karmic. So the karmic dues have been paid, and hence your slate was wiped clean. So that part of it is positive. At least we have a clean slate. The karma is paid, and we get to move forward. But it is still a card of going through pain and loss, or literally feeling like you were stabbed in the back. So we clarify, and we have Nine of Coins in reverse. So some of you might feel like you were stabbed in the back, maybe at work, maybe in regards to your finances, a situation around your finances, could have been an investment. Most likely, I feel like this is a job, but it could be just about anything. Typically, when we have the Nine of Coins in reverse, this can indicate that the home life is definitely not the happiest, and that stems from a lack of financial security and stability. Finances seem to be tight with this type of energy. Sometimes it can indicate that perhaps we have a loss, a financial loss. Maybe we had invested something in something that seemed like a sure thing, but it wasn't. Sometimes this can indicate a job loss. Sometimes it can indicate, our dwindling savings account. Or I used to have a savings account. What savings account? I don't have one anymore. It can be things like that. So it is very financial. But yes, this is definitely indicating that there was a loss of some sort, and it definitely had something to do with your finances. This is also a card of sufficiency as well. So, and being able to be financially independent. So that'll resonate with some of you. Okay. This would be the near future. So we have Six of Wands. Victory. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So this is about us going after a goal of ours. And we put a lot of work, time, energy. Sometimes we even put money into it. But it's not all for nothing. Here we achieve the victory. We can achieve recognition for our victory. So this is a very positive card. Because who doesn't love accomplishing something that they've been going after? I mean, it's beautiful. Okay, so we clarify we have the Seven of Coins. So I always refer to this card as you reap what you sow. Now, when we have Seven of Coins in the upright position, this is definitely showing good karma, that you have sown good seeds, and that a harvest is coming in. So money coming in. Or this could be indicating that you might have some investments currently that are very good, solid, stable, and that they will bring a good return. So very, very, very good, especially in regards to money, finances. This definitely indicates a victory and money flowing in. The harvest is in and it is great. So this would be your near future. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So this definitely indicates where our luck is definitely, we seem to have more luck. For some of us that don't necessarily feel like that, like, what, really? You're right. But the Wheel of Fortune, it definitely shows that luck does shift in our favor. And like I said, it's not always so obvious on the surface, but it does help us to where things come together easier for us, whether we're consciously aware of it or not, but it's like things do come together easier. The Wheel of Fortune, this is something that's definitely faded, but I always look at every major arcana card as what is faded. So, positive. Okay, so we clarify and we have the Four of Coins in the reversed position. So this card definitely can indicate that perhaps maybe some of you might be a little clingy. And when I say clingy, I mean with your money. It doesn't necessarily have to be money, okay? So let me be clear on that. A lot of times it is, but there could be a particular person in your life that you be clinging to, that you don't want to let go, because this man, he is not trying to let go of his coins. He's like, yeah, see them, they're mine. So he's not so ready to just hand over those coins. Now this card can indicate a little bit of greediness, and I always try to and reinforce that while I understand other people's perception could be much different, because with the Four of Coins, reversed or upright, you have to work very hard in order to get what you have. And so once you do have that savings or that little nest egg, it's like, I'm not going to just hand it over to just anybody that asks. And so some people can perceive that as being greedy. Some people be looking at you like, you've been extremely lucky. You got plenty of money. Why can't you give me some for this? Why can't you loan me some money? But you had to work your ass off to get it. So you may not just be like, oh, here you go. So it definitely indicates this, some people could be looking at you like, you got it made, but yet you're stingy, you're selfish. But, everyone's perception is different. It's just like, I understand where this comes from. It's not that you guys are being greedy. For some of you, you are, okay? Let's keep it real. Some of you are, but some of you are also hanging on to it because you look at it like, I know how hard I had to work to get this. And what if something happens? I need to make sure that me and family are taken care of. So I can't just be handing it out. So I totally get it. Okay, so another side of this could be that sometimes we're expecting money to come in, and it could be delayed, so it may not come in time. In regards to business matters and say even your job, this can indicate that you might be facing opposition, maybe in the workplace or in regards to a business matter. Opposition. Sometimes this can indicate that perhaps maybe in regards to a business that there are extra expenses that you did not expect. So that can always be a bit of an issue. Sometimes this can be a card of we really need to be careful to not financially overextend ourselves. So we do need to be cautious. So again, someone may be trying to get money from you and they look at you like you're being greedy and stingy, but really you need to be cautious with your money. So remember that, especially in business matters, be careful because we can overextend ourselves. And that's not good, and sometimes this can indicate that we lose some money or like a material type of possession. There's always that chance, so I have to bring it up. So yeah, I can't help it. I have to bring it up because it is always a possibility. But to me, this is more about opposition. But thankfully, you have the Wheel of Fortune, it's in the upright position. So yes, this experience in your near future is fated, but at the same time, it almost gives us a sense that you are being divinely protected. So that in itself makes this more beautiful. So while you may be going through a situation that may be pretty difficult in regards to business, and for some of you, it could even be in your personal life, because like I was saying, this could be you trying to cling onto a person, maybe even a possession. But my overall feeling is that this is more business, more money, finance focused, and opposition. So someone that's definitely opposed to your thoughts, and it's like luck is on your side. So, that could almost make the person that is opposing your thoughts and your actions even more upset, because it's like no matter what they do, you still got that divine protection. So that in itself to me is absolutely beautiful. So at least we're being protected. Okay. This would be your attitude. So, with the Page of Wands in reverse, when it comes to attitude, behavior, sometimes this can indicate that perhaps maybe we're being a bit dramatic, theatrical. This card is also a card that can indicate disappointing news that we might receive. And so, this disappointing news can definitely make us show the more dramatic side of ourselves. Okay, so it's clarified by the Four of Wands in the reverse position. So here I go again. Every time I see this card, to me, this is the card where we need to really take stock of every single blessing we have, no matter how big or how small the blessing is. Especially since this is the attitude position, we don't want to be dramatic or pessimistic. Yes, we go through some sort of loss or disappointing news, but you need to realize you're being divinely protected, okay? So, the loss is one that will benefit you in the long run. So, again, back to the point here. Every time I see the Four of Wands in reverse, this is where I have to remind everyone we need to be grateful and thankful for all of the blessings that we have in our life, no matter how big or how small they are. Some people are quick to say, well, I'm not blessed. I don't have anything to feel grateful for. I have this wrong, that's wrong, this is wrong, that's wrong. I'm stuck. I can't get out of this situation. I can't. I can't never did a thing, okay? So, this is the card where we really need to we need to refocus our mind and our thought pattern. We need to really try to focus on what is positive in our life. We need to focus on the things that we do have. It is so easy in day-to-day life for us to forget that we really are more blessed than we realize. You know, a lot of things get taken for granted. And it's not because we mean to, it's just the day to day grind, we get caught up in it. And so we don't necessarily focus on those things. But when we're going through a tough time, this is where we really need to. So I always say, hey, you're alive. Do you have something to eat tonight? If so, that's something to be grateful and thankful for. That's a blessing. Do you have a bed to sleep in? That's a blessing. Do you have children? That's a blessing. Are you healthy? Are they healthy? That's a blessing. I mean, I could keep going on and on and on. There are so many things that we have that really are a blessing. And we should be feeling thankful and grateful for those things, even though day to day we don't really think about that. But when we go through a loss, this is where we really need to shift our frame of mind and our thought patterns. Instead of having thoughts of what you're lacking and what's going wrong, you need to refocus those thoughts. Think about what you're grateful and thankful for, and then take it a step farther. Think about, okay, I'm not going to think about what I'm lacking. I'm going to think about what I'm gaining, okay? I'm thinking about what I'm going to achieve. And you need to believe it. You need to believe it. All power comes from within and is therefore under our control. Okay? The mind is a very powerful thing, and a lot of us take it for granted and or just, don't even realize the great abilities that we have that we can access with our mind. It's just a matter of intention, and we have to be in alignment with what we're manifesting for ourselves. But again, this is a card of let's be grateful and thankful for what we do have, no matter how big, how small. Now, to jump off the soapbox real quick, when we have Four of Wands in reverse, this is a card where it can indicate that the home life is upset in some way, shape, or form. Things can be a little rocky on the home front. Perhaps maybe there could be issues surrounding the home. Maybe you might have things breaking down in the home. Maybe you might be having a hard time making a payment on your home or the place you live at. Sometimes, there could be just general upset within the home life. This could be from a child. This could be from, financial situation that you're going through. It could be different things, but there is something that is upsetting the home life. So, moving forward. Okay, so this is how other people see you. So we have the Ace of Swords. Personally, I love this card, this sword. This is the sword of truth. This sword will literally cut through any bullshit and lies. Okay? It's a force to be reckoned with. So, I love this card. Not everybody would agree with that, and it's okay. Personally, me, I'm all about the truth. So, give me truth. That's all I want to hear. Don't give me the BS. Because that, I'm going to sense it a mile off and I ain't going to like it. So, but this is also about us being given a new start. And a lot of times, this new start, we have risen out of a difficult situation. So, to me, it sounds like you guys are going to rise out of this. So, don't let it get you down, okay? Because with this ace, the appearance of the Ace of Swords definitely indicates that you will rise out of this situation. And you will be given that new start. And with this new start, you feel more powerful, you feel more in control. You have the strength to see any and all of your projects to completion. So, I love this about this card. We're getting shit done. Excuse French, but I can't help it. I think I've done really good so far. But this is definitely about forward thinking and focused action. Sometimes this can indicate, a birth. It could be the birth of a child, or it could be the birth of a new idea. But overall, when we have the sword, this is about swift action. So when it's in the upright position, this is positive, okay? But you must always remember the sword cuts both ways. The sword can be forceful. So you always have to take caution that you're not being overly forceful because the sword cuts both ways. So it is clarified by the King of Coins. This is beautiful, especially if you've been through a financial loss. I'm loving where this is going, so it's getting better, okay? So the King of Coins, this is a money-making man right here, okay? Doesn't anytime we see king, queen, page, knight, prince, princesses, it doesn't this can represent male or female, or it can represent our energy or the energy of someone that we could be dealing with, okay? So King of Coins, this is a king that knows how to make financial wealth, okay? Sometimes he can be a banker, sometimes this is the entrepreneur, sometimes he can be a veterinarian, but no matter what, this is a king that knows how to make financial wealth. He can be a broker, he could be different things, but rest assured, this is a man that makes money, and not just money, wealth. And thankfully, he is in the upright position, so this shows that he is upright, he is trusting, so he is a person that is worthy of trusting. He is not corrupt. So that is very good. And this can also indicate that the businesses in which he would work in would also be upright. They would be ethical, okay? So this is positive. This is also the type of person that, perhaps someone in your life is giving you advice. It might be financial advice. And if you do have a person in your life that is giving you financial advice, then you definitely want to listen. But, I'm feeling that for the most part, this is definitely mostly your guys' energy, but this is how other people see you. And most people will see you exactly like this. So, so this would be our hopes and fears. Here we have the strength card. So this is definitely about we are in control. We're not allowing fear to get the upper hand on us. We are completely in control. We are able to make our point to other people, and we are able to do it in a peaceful way that is loving and compassionate. We are able to make people see our point of view. So, on the surface, it sounds great. And then the star in reverse. So, this is about us maybe feeling hopeless. Maybe some of us might be having issues with anxiety, depression. This is also a card of having a wish, but the wish is denied. We do not receive the wish, so then it can make us feel hopeless, but this is ultimately a test of our faith. So, I could keep going, but this is the position of hopes and fears. So, a hope is, a good thing to work towards manifesting. We don't want to manifest a fear. So, I'm not going to go too into depth there. Okay, so for the final outcome, we have the Queen of Swords. Well, this woman is fierce. Again, this could be a person coming into your life. This person could be male or female. Okay. This could potentially be your energy, or the energy of someone else. So, this woman, she holds her sword. Just know that you cannot fool the Queen of Swords. She will see you coming from a mile away. You can't pull the wool over her eyes. And so some of you might feel here soon that someone will be trying to pull the wool over your eyes, but you won't fall for it. Now, if this card is representing a person that comes into your life, this person would be your ally. This person is very intellectual. This person has good logic. You could definitely consider, like the Queen of Swords, I always look at her like she's part Virgo, she's part Libra combined. because those analytical abilities really fall to Virgo. Not just Virgo, but Virgos are the ones that are mostly known for being the analyzers. And she has very great analytical skills. So she's always analyzing situations, people. She's the type of person that you do not want to get into a tussle with. You don't want to challenge her, okay? Because you could think of that sword as kind of like her tongue, okay? And her tongue is her weapon. And she can strike you down real quick. She can put you in your place. You won't feel this is the type of woman that could send you away with your tail in between your legs. You don't want to challenge her, because she will come for you, and she will do it in a very intelligent way. So, this is a very good woman because she is in the upright position, so she tends to be very helpful, but she is also a woman that is about the truth. Okay? So, for some of you, maybe you feel like you might need to tell the truth about something. Maybe you want someone else to tell the truth about something. Let's take a look. Okay. Okay. So we have the Nine of Wands to clarify. So the Nine of Wands, this is a card of being prepared to handle any type of adversity or hostility that comes your way. So if someone tries to challenge you, oh, you are ready, willing, and able to defend yourself. And with the Queen of Swords combined, you have the truth on your side. That, or you have an actual ally there to back you up. But either way, for most of you, I feel like you are ready to defend, whether it's yourself, your life, your family, your friends, your job, your values, your beliefs, whatever it is. You can handle any type of hostility or adversity that comes your way. So try as they might, they cannot knock you down. And I feel for most of you, it's because you have this sword of truth. You are the one that is righteous within a situation. And so they aren't going to be able to knock you down. The truth is the truth. That's the beautiful thing about the truth, is that it's unchanging. It doesn't change because it is the truth. And so if you have any type of enemies, adversaries, people trying to maybe try to take you down mentally, verbally, just know that they don't stand a chance against you, because you have this sort of truth, and you have that logic and the reasoning abilities and the analytical abilities. You'll be able to see some fake ass shit coming from a mile away. Fake people, you'll figure it out real quick. There are a lot of people that tend to make it sound like they can do a lot more than what they really can do. Okay? But you'll see it coming. Don't worry. Or on a rare instance, somebody, you could be the one that's on the defensive, ready to defend yourself, and she might try to challenge you. And if she does, it's because she has the truth. But I feel that would only be for literally a couple of you. For the rest of you, I feel like this is more you having this sword of truth. So, bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Cups in reverse. So this would definitely indicate coming back to the physical and the material side of life. When it's in the upright position, we had went on a spiritual type of quest. We were in search of something greater, something better, something with a higher purpose and meaning for us. In the reverse position, like so, we have returned to the physical and the material side of life. Sometimes this can indicate that perhaps maybe we could go back to a situation that we had previously abandoned. Sometimes this can indicate someone from your past pops back in, tries to come back. That's always a possibility. This could be, someone that you were in a relationship with romantically, or this could be someone that you were friends with. It could go either way, but, someone from your past could return. Now, sometimes a new love interest can also pop up here with this particular card. This could be indicating that you have a new love interest or that you have a desire to have a new love interest. But overall, you're ready to be back in the physical and material side of life. You're ready to enjoy life in the physical and material things. Okay, so it's clarified by the Seven of Cups. So, this is our emotional choices wish card. But this is also a card of illusion. All that glitters is not gold. So, on the surface, something can look like it's a lot better than what it really is, but it's really not. Now, we always want to choose spirit, but for some, they might be like, hey, look at those keys. Ooh, do those keys go to a car? Do they go to a new home? Maybe it's a car and a home. And you might get it and find that those keys go to an empty storage locker. Illusions. So we have to be careful about the choice that we make. We need to go with spirit. So this is where I'm going to say this is where you really need to rely on your intuition, that higher mind, that inner voice, that gut feeling. You don't want to go after the things that appear materially good, because that's, that doesn't typically work out well. We always want to go for spirit. If we can choose spirit, we will not be led wrong. We will always go down the right path. But again, this is a card of illusions, and the choices that we have, there's always a bit of illusion attached to each choice. So it is our job to see through those illusions. Okay, I have love oracle cards here. This would be for the Capricorn sun, moon, and rising signs that are single. So the first one I have is this situation is calling for you to have faith. This is the trust card. So for some of you, you might be single. You might be wondering, will I ever get into a relationship with someone and be happy? Will it ever happen? Will I ever find a soulmate? Well, you need to trust and have faith that everything is going to work out as it should, and it will happen at the right time. Sometimes we want something and we want it now, but ultimately it's not the right time. So, this is why we need to trust and we need to have faith. We need to not let fear get in between, because fear can create more dramas, more problems, and we don't need none of that. So, heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So, some of you single caps already have someone that you're interested in, and perhaps you might be having heart-to-heart conversations. So just let it unfold slowly and naturally through heart-to-heart conversations and see where it goes. Okay, so this will be for the Capricorn sun, moon, and rising signs that are married or in a relationship. Is it safe for you to love? Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So for some of you that could be in somewhat new relationships, maybe you're having a hard time pulling that wall down around your heart. Maybe you're wondering, should I let them in or shouldn't I? Ultimately, that is really up to you, but, I look at life like we're here ultimately to learn and to love. Now, if I could only get everyone on board with that philosophy. Sometimes we just need to take a chance, and listen, I'm Scorpio moon, so I got serious trust problems. But sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith. Now, clearly, analyze, assess the person, the situation. Make sure it's someone that you know that you can trust. And if you feel that you can trust, take that leap of faith. And sometimes it can be a slow process because sometimes it's like chiseling away at the wall. But it'll calm down. Okay, getting to know each other are as you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So again, this one definitely points more towards those that are in a relationship that have probably recently gotten together. So still you're together, but you're still getting to know each other. And as you get to know each other, your bond deepens. So that's good. Okay. Separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. Now, for some of you, this can indicate an actual separation. For some of you, this could be like a trial separation. Maybe you're having issues within your marriage. Maybe you guys decide to take a break from one another, take some time apart, maybe get some counseling. This can also indicate that for some, that maybe there isn't a huge issue in the relationship. Perhaps maybe there is a separation that is caused by external factors. So maybe your significant other or your spouse, maybe they have family obligations, or maybe they have a job obligation that takes them away, possibly to another state or to another country. And so for some of you, you could be temporarily separated, and it's due to other circumstances. So it wouldn't be problems within the relationship, it's just other circumstances. So you'll know where you fit in. Either the separation is an actual separation, like, yo, I've had enough of this person, or you're being separated, because of other circumstances, but it's not a separation of heart, it's a separation of we're not together in the same space. So the heart can still be somewhat lonely under that particular energy because we want to be with the person that we love, and that person wants to be with us too, but distance is what prevents this. Okay, I got a new deck. Well, I got two new decks, but I went ahead and pulled one card. This one is the Good Tarot. So I just pulled one card. Now this particular deck it's a deck that puts the cards in a very positive affirmation. So, yeah. So we got Six of Fire, which is also the Six of Wands, the victory card. So I will read from my book. Stepping into the limelight, being an enlightened influencer. I generously model transformation so that others might be inspired. I put my light atop a hill so it can shine forth, helping others to find their way. I remain aware of shadows and people who have trouble basking in the warm light of higher awareness. I bless them, but do not dim my own beacon. It's a time to renew trust that I am contributing to the highest good of all in my own unique way. So, yeah, it definitely keeps them very positive. It's like an affirmation that is very, very positive. So, I just figured I'd pull a card for you guys just to try it out, see if you guys like it. I kind of feel bad that I didn't have them when I started the readings, but I've kind of been waiting for them, and I got them this morning, so you guys are getting lucky. So, okay. So keep your head up, Capricorns. Things are definitely going to work out. Again, you are divinely protected. And you can definitely take any type of hostility or adversity that comes your way. They can't knock you down. You're strong. You're strong. And you got this. So I love you guys, and I will talk to you next month. I'm sending you blessings of healing, prosperity, and love.